Potentially the most iconic stream I've ever done in Sage can't make it here. Even when I tag them in Discord. And even when I text them, you know. Anyways, we're brought here because there's a very good chance that yours truly is going to complete the Balatro undertaking. That is Completionist ++. So, let's get this little fucker fired up. And then we'll probably talk sports, get that out of the way, and then get the fuck out of here. Didn't want to stream today, but Balatro had different plans for me. So, if I'm going to get rid of one of these jokers, makes sense to get rid of one that doesn't score anything. So we add this here, the rough gem. Now it would be good for us to increase our malt by doing this right here. Skipping with the red card. And then this one here we don't really need. We got $25 left. So we got $4.20 coming there. Fuck! We'll buy it just to have it. Alright, let's make our plan of attack. So one joker has to get sold. What's going to be more valuable? 50 chips or the +12? So we're about to get 15 here. Just trying to think what's more valuable. We've got 49 here, 48 here. This one's kind of stumped. I think since we can make it back, let's sell this one. Okay. Let's just see what the pair does. Okay. We're gonna need another. Well, we might be able to play one more pair. Then go straight hunting for 2 out of the 3. So we got our straights. So this should make it relatively close. Might have made a mistake there. Okay, we got 2 5s left. That should do it. That is going to wrap up Balatro with a successful run. That's how you get Completionist plus plus. And I did it way sooner than needed there. So let's go main menu. The unlock didn't come through. But sometimes what you have to do, if it doesn't come through, so let's go to our collection. Make sure they're all gold. It's gold. I think you just have to do a run on easy and beat that, and then you get your little accomplishment. So I'm going to do that because I did have to do that with another one. So checkered deck's probably the easiest one to do, so I'm going to do checkered deck. You just basically go on an all flush run. Alright, everything looks cold to me, so let's just go. Let's play a new run. Let's go checkered. Let's bring the difficulty all the way down. And yeah, we're gonna want good economy. And this is one of the easier ones to do. Especially since it's on easy. You don't need to score like 400,000 or 1.2 million or whatever. Oh, we got an extra grabber hand there. Can't believe Sage missed my greatness. Again, this is just kind of a Balatro glitch. That's why we're playing another one. So if you have an accomplishment when you get to the Completionists, just play one on easy and it should be okay. Always like having that reroll guy. It's one of the best vouchers in the game. Keeps Violet Vessi off your sack. And Violet Vessi is a cruel mistress, I'll tell you that much. Okay. Not even gonna need good jokers to beat this one. That's not a bad one to get. Technically neither's that since we're on a flush run. Take a look for drops of Jupiter that are not in the air. And discard Green Joker. Probably not the best for this level, but I don't care. It's one of my favorite Jokers right there. Absolute fucking game changer Joker. I hated him and I hated Ride the Bus. But I've learned to appreciate the grind Jokers. Square Joker, another one I like. They can be frustrating though. When you literally grind through and then you get nothing to show for it. That does kind of suck. Oh man, playing at easy difficulty is nice. Don't even have to think. Well, let's just keep adding. Let's sell this little fucker. Didn't need to do that. Constellation was a good Joker to pick up. I better get this fucking achievement after this, or I'm going to be calling Steam tonight. And I'll be asking for a fucking refund. I don't care if there's 971 fucking hours on the game, I'll ask for a refund. Not fucking around. Whoa. It needs to be a little bit colder, that propeller. Nah, it's not worth skipping for. And that was the right move to keep this little supernova, since we're going with the same hands over and over. Not a 2-pair run, but that helps the constellation. That better be Sage saying he's on his fucking way. Fuck it. We'll buy this. Just so we're doing our Jupiter work. Can't skip for that, can't skip for that either. Anti-fucking 5 and it's only 11. This is child's play. A child would be able to waltz in here right now, 2-year-old, and do this. I better get my fucking achievement. Balatro does not suck. I would really recommend giving it a real shot. Generally, when people say Balatro sucks, that means that they suck. I've been there myself, actually. Once I gave it a proper... This is the Mona Lisa of video games. The bee's fucking knees. Yeah, well, maybe you need to try harder. It's basic. No, this is the if I get stranded on an island, this is the game I want to be with. Just because I beat the game doesn't mean I'm not going to keep playing it. Spoiler alert. The Sims is not that good. Sage, so I accomplished what I needed to accomplish, but now I'm just doing a game here because in order to get the achievement, sometimes you need to do a match. But I've conquered greatness. I have become the only man in the world to do it. That's Completionist plus, and I'm the only man in the world to do it. So I'm a record holder, Sage. I'm a fucking pioneer. I finally beat it. Don't act like you're not impressed, man. Don't act like you're not impressed. I can tell. But I need to do this stupid easy level because there is a glitch in Balatro. For some of the completionist levels. Now, if I don't get my achievement, Sage, after doing this, I will be calling customer service. I will be asking for their supervisor, and I will be doing that while I am live on stream. So let's hope it doesn't. Let's hope it doesn't come down to that. Okay? We don't need that. Steam doesn't need that. We'll stream our customer service call. I wonder if I should skip this boss and make it easier. Because I don't need Violet Vesty up in my goddamn grill. Really don't need that. How about we skip this bitch here. And then we'll re-roll this boss here. Oh, that's fine. All spades are debuffed. As if we'll even have to play him. This will be a one-shotter. It'll be like Tiger Woods stroke right there. Easy. This is almost killing me a little bit. I don't want to beat the game. Balatro was always there when you fuckers weren't. Run info. I don't know if that's good enough. Kind of like the diversity. Diversity is an old wooden ship made in the Civil War era. For those of you who did not know. Translation was lost hundreds of years ago. Well, I know which Joker I'm selling. Supernova. The Champagne Supernova is gonna go. And this will be an easy run. And I better get my fucking achievement. Well, I'm gonna fucking Cal Naughton Jr. this motherfucker. Again, the achievement was done before you got here, Sage. I just want to throw that down. This is just how we're fixing a glitch. Okay. Oh God, we probably gotta go over to sports and shit too after this, don't we? Tell you who I'm not looking forward about talking about is Brock Purdy. I thought I had one quarterback that really fucked me over, and then I added Brock Purdy. We'll get to that. We will definitely get to that. Alright, we're going to sell this Joker here. It's the absolute right decision to do. Alright, if we don't one-hand it, we'll two-hand it. And I better see that accomplishment come through. Come on. Don't want to call customer service. Not tonight. There it is. I have done what no man before me has done. You saw that come up. Excellent. Neato, gang. Neato. I am so... I'm at a loss for words, I knew I was good and I knew I was that damn good, but still, it's a very humbling experience right now. You're looking at least 700 hours that has been put into that game. And it's all... I promised Sage I wouldn't do this, but I got tears in my eyes right now. I got fucking tears in my eyes. Tears of joy. Alright, let me get up the football shit to go over. Didn't get to watch a lot of football because I was moving. So, there is that. I know there was some fucking stupid shit going on in the weekend, though. I know Sage is happy. Extremely happy with the performance of Cam Ward. I heard they let him run the ball a little bit more. I'm going to get to the fantasy league to start. I want to get the depressing stuff out first. Because, we've got a funeral to announce for the greatest commissioner who ever lived. He was about to delete the league. Oh, fuck off, Yahoo. Why are you making me sign in? I have this shit auto-signed, man. Like, what the fuck? I don't even know my fucking password. Why is it making me... Oh, because I'm in Brave. It's my bad. That's my bad. That's not on Yahoo. As much as I'd like to blame Yahoo for anything, that one's not on Yahoo. Now what fucking games am I going to play? These are the questions. These are the questions. So let's fast forward back to week 12. Just an unspectacular performance by Brock Purdy, who I brought in. Justin Herbert shit the bed. Was on a bye week. We needed a new leader in the locker room. Brock Purdy came in, started the game really good. He threw a touchdown to Juwan Jennings. Then he proceeded the next 3 drives to throw 3 interceptions. That's not what we want here at fourth quarter, Steven. And I was hoping we were going to do an episode where it was, one where it's like, I ripped this guy a lot. And, he showed up for me. No, he proved to me that I'm never wrong. I was absolutely right. Brock Purdy is a piece of turdy, and that's all there is to it. So he dropped the ball, ended up losing 279 to 244 to deflate these balls. Tommy Callahan's auto parts was strong. A sturdy 295.5. But fell short to the last place team, Tim Tebow Bible Club, 318 to 295.5. Patchwork Pigskins barely beat butt fumble safety. When I say barely beat, we're talking decimal points here. 301.97 to 301.59. That gives me a pulse. That gives me a shot. But guess what? My quarterbacks aren't listening to the advice I'm giving them this year. So I think it's going to be me and Tim Tebow on the golf course up at the Lunenburg golf course up here. And finally you had TDs in your face throwing up 352 points against hard count and net. You only scored 252. That's a 100-point blowout. Let's check the standings, even though I'm just not. Fuck this league, Sage. I'm hitting the fucking button. Bud. Alright, you still got Patchwork Pigskins in first place at 10-2. Deflate These Balls 8-4. And Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts 7-5. Those 3 have clinched. The others will clinch. There's no way they're going to not miss the playoffs. So TD's in your face, 6-6. Hard count and net, they're both going to make the playoffs at 6-6. A little jealous. Butt fumble safety is my only hope to making the playoffs and going on a late run here. 5-7, 6th place. Yours truly, 4-8. And Tim Tebow Bible Club has been eliminated many, many months ago at 2-10. Just beat the shit out of Sage, though. So that shows you what a roster Sage has going into the playoffs, if you ask me. All right. Let's get to, I guess, real football. Let's get up the scorecards here, and we'll quickly go over each game. I believe there was an interesting trade while we were gone in baseball, though, between the Texas Rangers and those other fuckers there, the New York Mets. So basically what's happening, Marcus Semien, second baseman, being traded to the New York Mets in exchange for Brandon Nimmo. There's a bit more salary per year, but only on 3 years, whereas Brandon Nimmo had, I think, 5 years left on his contract. Kind of makes sense for the Mets. I don't know if they're trying to free up money, maybe take a shot at Kyle Tucker. I really don't care. They're still going to find a way to be shitty. That's just what the Mets do. Oh, welcome, Katrina. Very early night. In case you missed it, I have conquered Balatro. I have risen to the top of the mountain, and I am better than everyone, essentially. Completionist plus. Every Joker is now gold stamped. So I had to put that on live, and then of course proceed to do a stream for sports that I was not prepared to do. So welcome to the Thundercloud. You guys must be back from Japan, I would say. I would say you guys must be back if you're on here anyway. I gotta get the scores up though. Here, let me just bring up every game. We'll quickly go through them, and then we'll put a stamp in this bitch. Actually, there is the Jays did make a minor league signing we might go over. It's for a 26-year-old who's got pop. I think he can play D. Doesn't have a good average though, so we'll see. It's just a depth signing, but he's only 26 with some potential, so you never know with those types of guys. All right, we got the scores up. Obviously, I think we already talked Buffalo and Houston. I think Josh Allen was sacked 8 or 9 fucking times. The Texans' defense with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter was outstanding, and they beat the shit out of fucking Josh Allen by 4 points, albeit. Basically with their defense, essentially. This game pissed me off a little bit. I knew it'd be a close game. I felt like, Kansas City would probably pull it off, and they did, but it took overtime for them to win. They won 23-20. Patrick Mahomes' stats don't look great. I mean, he threw up almost 50 fucking balls into the air, threw an interception. His rating was only 77. So I'm wondering what they did to get the win. So Kareem Hunt, 104 yards, but only 3.5 per carry. Did their defense get any? Was there any turnovers by Indy? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Daniel Jones just played like shit. No, Daniel Jones had 2 touchdowns. I don't know. Jonathan Taylor got shut down a little bit, though. 58 yards, 3.6 per carry. So, Sage, we're just starting the NFL scores. We're just reviewing the scores, that sort of thing. That's all we're doing. You didn't miss a whole lot at all. But we are getting to the next game. I think the next game is a pretty big one. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. I think they're playing each other next. I could be wrong. But Pittsburgh dropped one to the Bears, who are now 8-3 on the season. 31-28 for the Bears. Caleb Williams, who I probably could have picked up and done better with. Would have been nice. Great, grand, wonderful. No yelling on the stream. I can't really yell like that, or am I going to blow my esophagus? I'm so sick right now. Anyways, Caleb Williams, 3 touchdowns. Look pretty good. I do expect the Bears to slow down a bit here coming up in the next few weeks as they go against, Detroit, the Packers, kind of the real teams. Mason Rudolph wasn't very good. The defense early looked like they were going to, take care of business for Pittsburgh and keep them in it, but wasn't meant to be, so it is what it is. Because there was a couple fumbles. I mean, DeAndre Swift fumbled and lost it. Caleb Williams fumbled, lost it as well. But the Steelers need Aaron Rodgers back desperately. Now, this game was a bit closer than we expected, which fucking happens from time to time. New England Patriots 26, the Bengals 20. Joe Burrow will be returning this week, Sage. If you have a heart, can you do me one thing? Joe Burrow wasn't playing good before he got injured. Drop Joe Burrow so I can go out with the quarterback that I want. Drop Joe Burrow for me. Trade him to me. You've got Matthew Stafford. You've got the MVP coming in hot. Give me Joe Burrow, please, so I can at least end my season in pride. I'll drop Jeff Simmons. Absolutely. We got a trade? We got a handshake agreement here, bud? You give me Joseph Burrow and I'll give you Jeffrey Simmons. Absolutely. I want to shake your hand right now. I want to shake it before I bake it. That's beautiful. That's poetic right there. You get your guy, I get my guy. Works out. Anyways, back to the game. Looks like Drake May didn't have his greatest stuff. I mean, I'm talking like he's a starting pitcher, but I mean, he 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 87 rating. Did throw for close to 300 yards, though. Pretty good passer rating as well. Travion Henderson, 66 yards, 18 carries. Hunter Henry, fuck, he had a big game, 115 yards for a tight end. That's pretty damn big. But they were up against the Bengals. I mean, Joe Flacco couldn't really do a whole lot. 4.9 per average, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 63 rating. Chase Brown was great. I mean, he averaged 5.6 per carry, had over 100 yards, but the Bengals just aren't that good. That's why they're 3-8. Patriots are 10-2, but I don't trust the Patriots when we get to the playoffs. I don't trust them to be a real Super Bowl contender. Maybe we'll start getting into that stuff. For one of our next segments, I do want to start going over the top 5 to 10 for, leaders for, say sacks, tackles, quarterback rating. I want to start getting into that shit a little bit. It's been hard this last month, but we'll get back to it. Baltimore took care of business. It was rough early on for them. Lamar Jackson certainly wasn't that good. 77 rating, but Baltimore found a way to win. Derrick Henry, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. So not a great game in terms of yards per carry, only 3. But you're up against the Jets. The Jets fucking suck. Tyrod Taylor, touchdown, interception, 82 rating. He actually outperformed Lamar Jackson, if you kind of look at it, by quite a bit. This is actually a very surprising game for me. This is the game that Sage... I think this is probably the only game that Sage watched. It is, of course, the Tennessee Titans hosting the Seattle Seahawks. So, Tennessee lost. They're now 1-10. They lost 30-24 against Seattle, who's now 8-3. I think that's a good game for them. That's a good game. That's a team I think that's probably projected to win by 10 or 13 at least. Probably 2 scores at least for Seattle. They kept it within 6. Cam Ward had a pretty good rating, 91, QBR 75.1, which is actually better than Sam Darnold, who had a 42.1. Although the rating, so that's ESPN's rating. It's 2 different types of ratings. But Sam Darnold looked like he was pretty crisp. 2 touchdowns, 118 normal rating. Kenneth Walker was fucking good. 6.5 per carry. Zach Charbonnet was good, 5.8. So not much. They weren't doing much against the run, I'll say, for Tennessee, but they kept that game close. That's a big game. And Cam Ward rushed for a touchdown and 37 yards as well. So I'd say that's a big game for them, even though they didn't really win. Packers and Vikings. So we essentially knocked out Minnesota. Minnesota's now 4-7 after losing 23-6 to the Green Bay Packers, who are now 7-3-1 with Detroit coming in on Thursday. So that'll certainly be a tough motherfucking game. A big game. It starts at fucking 1 p.m. Eastern, so Maybe I'll want to be late for work that day. Have some technical troubles getting in. J.J. McCarthy is who I said he was. This motherfucker couldn't even get 100 yards passing in the entirety of this game. He threw 2 interceptions, was sacked 5 times, had a 34 rating, wasn't very good. Jordan Love better than his quarterback rating states, 85.2. But Green Bay got into run mode with Emmanuel Wilson, who ran 28 times for 107 yards. We had one drive where we literally just handed it off to him 7 to 9 times. He had 2 touchdowns. A big game for him. We went with our 6 personnel quite a bit, so we had our 6 offensive linemen in there quite a bit. Micah Parsons did pick up his 9th and 10th sack of the season. Would have had another, but obviously the quarterback was impacted, and that ended up giving Devontae Wyatt his 2nd sack of the day. There's not one game the Packers have played this year where you can blame the defense. I think the most points the Packers have let in a game is like 20. This defense is for real. This is the best Packers defense I've ever seen, and it's a shame Tucker Kraft went down. Can't do anything about it. We got Jaden Reed coming back. We just had Luca Vaness come back. We got some other guys coming back as well. Got to be better running the ball. Got to be better catching the ball. If the Packers do that, they are going to be a force. Now, let me just see the comments here. So he says the rookies had all the touchdowns. Well, that's a good sign. You don't want the veterans getting all the touchdowns when you're a shitty team. You'd rather it be the rookies. This game was extremely interesting. I said the Giants would keep it close, and they did. It did go to overtime against Detroit. Detroit ended up winning 34-27. Detroit's now 7-4. Big game against the Packers, which I alluded to earlier. New York Giants 2-10. Jameis Winston, 2 touchdowns passing, 1 receiving. So he had a big game. They got out to a pretty good start, but then it went back. It was actually looks like it was a pretty good back and forth game there. But I think they did get to a lead, and then obviously Detroit took care of business. Now, when I say Detroit took care of business, Jahmyr Gibbs took care of business. 219 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns, as well 45 receiving yards with a touchdown. So it's basically the Jahmyr Gibbs show over there in Detroit right now. I will tell you, we're not going to shut him down, but the Packers ain't letting 200 yards to this motherfucker. Promise you that. If Jahmyr Gibbs is all you got, well, we're looking at 8-3-1 bitches. Next game we got here, Jacksonville and Arizona. I mean, Arizona keeps the game close yet again. Loses in fucking overtime. Jacoby Brissett was pretty good, 317 yards, fucking 92 rating. Their rushing game, not so good for Arizona, 55 on fucking 20 carries. Trevor Lawrence was like what Trevor Lawrence kind of is. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, an 81 rating. Somehow they find a way to win. ETN was good. I don't know. Brenton Strange, former Packer. He never did this for the Packers. Tight end. 93 yards on 5 receptions. That's fucking awesome. Makes me wish we still fucking had that little creep on our team. Jacksonville somehow is 7-4, even though they've got a negative point differential. I do not look at them as legitimate. Arizona 3-8. I actually think Arizona is more legitimate than fucking Jacksonville, as fucked up as that sounds. Alright. We've got, this was Shedeur Sanders' coming out party. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, an 87 rating. He won 24-10, upping the Cleveland Browns record to 3-10 against the Las Vegas Raiders, who suck, who are 2-9. Geno Smith looks like a bum. I could have said that before. I said that when he was good. He was a garbage quarterback having a fluke year. I do think the one interesting thing, Geno Smith was sacked 10 fucking times. 10 fucking times. So, Myles Garrett had 3. Fucking, Jesus Christ. Devin Bush had a sack. Isaiah McGuire had a sack. Cameron Thomas had a sack. Mike Hall Jr. had a half sack. Malik Collins had 2.5. Fucking Shelby Harris had a half sack. And Jerome Baker had a half sack. So, maybe the Raiders need to start. Maybe the Raiders need to start getting an offensive line. And yeah, Chip Kelly did get fired. I don't know if I necessarily blame him or not, to be honest. Just because their team's so bad. Their team is so bad, right? So it's hard to judge if it's on him or if it's on whomever. I did not like how he coached in Philly with his fast-paced offense, not taking rest, that sort of thing. And just throw to Bowers. The problem is, Geno Smith can't do that. He's not a good quarterback. He's fucking terrible. In a game that nobody cares about, Atlanta Falcons won 24-10 over the New Orleans Saints. They're 4-7. New Orleans 2-9. Looking like they're going to be one of the teams trading up. I don't know if they're going to trade up with Tennessee, actually, now that they got Tyler Shuck or whatever his name is, even though it should be Shog. Kirk Cousins had a good game in terms of passer rating, 107. QBR was a little lower. I don't always trust QBR. Does not favor quarterbacks that don't rush the ball. If Darnold can only throw to JSN, Geno can throw to Bowers. Well, Darnold is susceptible sometimes to picks, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Geno Smith has more interceptions than touchdowns this year. Honestly, unfucking believable. And this was my prediction of the week. I think, if you remember, I was very confident that the Dallas Cowboys would beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's what happened. Now, I didn't say that Philly would take a 21-0 lead and then, Dallas would come back and win. I did not say that, but I really had a feeling Dallas would win. Playing a bit better. They stymied Barkley. I mean, Barkley only averaged 2.2 yards per carry on 10 attempts. Prescott, great, 354 yards, 103 rating. I mean, Jalen Hurts played pretty good, almost 300 yards with a touchdown, but at the end of the day, Philly is one of those teams with a great record, 8-3. Dallas now 5-1. But Philly's one of those teams with a great record that I like their defense a lot. I really don't like their offense a lot. I think we all know that narrative. It's just kind of the truth at this point. A very lackluster Sunday Night Football game between the Rams and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Rams improved to 9-2 after beating the fucking Bucks, who were now 6-5, 34-7. I don't know what to say about this. Matthew Stafford, was pristine with 3 touchdowns. Teddy Bridgewater had to come into this game. Baker Mayfield, I think, fucked his shoulder up. Was only averaging 2.2 per throw, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. There's not really much to say other than the Rams are who we thought they were. A pretty damn good team. Last game of the week. Carolina really should have won this game if they had any offensive prowess whatsoever. They could not get it going, at least passing the ball. But then again, the same could be said about Brock Purdy. But, when a team like San Francisco turns the ball over fucking 3 times in a row, you need to make them pay. They didn't make them pay. San Francisco, 20-9 victory over Carolina. They improved to 8-4. They are the worst 8-win team in the league. Carolina's still 6-6, so they still got, a chance at playoffs. I don't think they'll make it though. But wow, Brock Purdy really shit the bed when I fucking needed him the most. That's all I have to say about that. And on that note, I'm going to pat myself on the back once more. I promised you guys I would beat Completionist Plus by the new year. And I did it with 5 weeks to fucking spare. 5 weeks to fucking spare. So that's all I'm going to say. That's what greatness is made of. I'm going to make a little statue for in here. And I'm going to, mix it together with a little Balatro figure of some sort. I'm going to make myself into a Joker of Balatro for how fucking good I did. I'll play some other games. I'm certainly looking forward, though, to when Balatro does its updates. That's the big thing. I wanted to make sure before Balatro got updates out there, which is probably sometime next year, I wanted to make sure I had the game beat. But yeah, we'll definitely play some other games. I do promise that. I have to piss like a racehorse, so we're ending the stream here. Have a good night, guys, and we will hopefully see you guys tomorrow.